Hey everybody, good morning. I have a really simple little concept that I think will help you a lot today. One thing that I've been taking a look at with my clients recently is I will notice when they're in a moment of pain. So for instance, if you are experiencing a moment of anger, anxiety, sadness through the day on a habitual basis, I want you to take a look at the type of situation in which you feel that negative emotion. And I want you to ask yourself, what is the dominating thought that you're telling yourself in that moment? So I'll just pick an example from recent. A gentleman who was feeling really frustrated at work, and what he was saying to himself was, my boss just doesn't care about my feelings. And now, by the way, sometimes we tell ourselves something that is true. Usually it's not totally true, but sometimes we tell ourselves something, and just the sort of hypnotic repetition of going back to that same thought itself can be entrapping, even if it's true. So I asked him, I said, does that thought that you walk into work every day with create more freedom for you or make you feel more enslaved? And it's a strong question, and I know that, and it's meant to be a strong question because it evoked emotion for him. And I wanted it to cause him to think and reflect, and I'm asking you the same thing. So notice a moment in your life where you habitually feel pain, and what is the thought that's running through your mind in that moment when you're feeling pain? And I'm asking you the same question. Does that thought make you feel more enslaved or more free? Right? And you want to challenge yourself to be kind of binary with this, and don't go, well, it kind of makes me feel, a little more trapped, but at the same time, I think it's totally true, right? Don't even worry about that just yet. Don't worry about the reasoning. Just figure out the consequences of the thought. Does it make you more enslaved or does it make you more free? And if you look at it that way, quite honestly, then you can start to make some choices about what thoughts or beliefs you want to expel out of your life. Because sometimes we're even telling ourselves a belief that's true, like maybe his boss doesn't really care. That could be true. In that case, it wasn't totally true. It was that his boss was not showing that he cared in the way that my client preferred to feel cared for. All right, so the boss was not meeting my client's rules for what has to happen for him to feel cared for. But anyway, in either case, I just asked him, is that belief serving you? Is it causing you feel more enslaved, more trapped, make you play life in a smaller way, make you conserve, make you feel more fear, make you restrict, right? That's what I mean by feel enslaved. Or does it make you feel free? Does it make you feel able to express, to give, to grow, to contribute, to move your life in the way that you want? And the answer for him was obvious. It makes him feel more enslaved. So I said, are you still willing to continue repeating a belief or a thought and conditioning it when it makes you feel enslaved? Are you willing to live with those consequences? For him, he said no. So he decided to ditch that story, and he came up with a new story. And very often what's powerful, by the way, is if you do what we call a turnaround, you take the old limiting belief and you flip it around. So I said, do you think it might be true that you aren't demonstrating care for your boss? And at first he was like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, just think about it for a second. Are there maybe a couple instances in which you're not really being caring for your boss? And he stopped and he thought about it and he said, well, gosh, honestly, yeah, because I keep just blaming my boss and I keep telling myself how much they don't care. I haven't even thought about what it's like in his shoes, to put myself in my boss's shoes. Right? And we kept going on that for about 5 minutes, and he realized that he had been so inside of his own head, he actually was not being very empathetic towards his boss. So very often it just takes one little thought that's being repeated to hypnotize us and make us feel. That's all slavery means in the mind, is a hypnosis, right? We keep telling ourselves things are a certain way. We create our blind spot and we can't see what's outside of that belief that we keep rehearsing. So what is the limiting thought that you've been having? And is it time to expel it? Maybe you can drop something in the comments and serve the rest of the community. So I hope this helps you. Talk to you soon.